I can do away with that. Lots of companies have suffered. If you look at, in fact, if you read Steve Jobs, my suggestion to particularly the technology students here will be, always look for a name called John Sculley. And if you read that, then you will have a very interesting learning. My learning is Steve Jobs of this world, who are phenomenal creative people or who were an entrepreneur, need a person like John Sculley. John Sculley was, in his lifetime, he had sold beverages and FMCG goods. Steve Jobs persuaded him to join Apple. Within 3 years of his joining Apple, Steve Jobs got sacked from his own board. Next 16 years, John Sculley prevailed. And then in the 90s, 97 to be precise, Sculley was sacked by Apple board and Steve Jobs was brought back. My learning is, courtesy this, you need a combination of Steve Jobs and John Sculley, which is that creativity plus commerce. But problem is that these two brilliant minds find very difficult to work with each other. Coming to this marketing challenges, 3 levels I talked about, so I will quickly go into that. There is a huge literature on marketing and economic development, how marketing helps economic development. I am not boring you with that. Simple learning of that literature, or one of the dominant learning, is 2 roles people saw for marketing in a developing economy. One problem people saw, if you look at literature on poverty and other things, that aspiration levels for the poor people were normally found to be low. So if you don't aspire for something different, something higher, something better, how do you develop, right? So they saw that marketing's role is to raise the aspiration levels of a society, right? The second role they saw is then through product design, development, costing, distribution, pricing, you need to fulfill those roles. My understanding is we have been successful in the first task. We have raised aspiration levels, but we have not been successful in fulfilling those aspirations. And that's where a whole lot of these disruptions happen in society. So philosophically, one of the major challenges for the current generation and the next generation will be, how do we meet the challenges? Like say for example, education field. Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan filled up schools. Now people are worried about so many numbers who will come to the college level. Are there enough college seats available? Are there quality seats available? So, and then once they pass out, where are the jobs for them? So those are issues that one needs to deal with. We have examples after examples of this nature. There is an issue of marketing and sustainability. See, somebody beautifully said, I dread the day where China and India achieve 50% of consumption standard of US. This world may be destroyed that day. There's so much of wasteful consumption happening in the so-called US world. And I pity some of our own decision makers and some of the corporate sector people who make a statement, per capita our electricity consumption is so much. Only automobile population is 15 per 1,000 Indians. Rubbish. The reason is very simple. Even at current petroleum import rates, we find it difficult to sustain our foreign exchange balance and all those things, right? So, if more Indians owned four-wheelers, we will be in deep trouble. So, auto industry, to my mind, needs to focus on mass transport rather than this. Simple going to agriculture engineering. I have been arguing with companies like Mahindra and Mahindra and TAFE and others. If you look at lots of Indian companies started manufacturing smaller tractors. Why? Because land holdings are small. Now that's a very, very surface level understanding. What you need to understand is larger horsepower tractors are expensive, but they are more cost efficient. They can till more land consuming less diesel, right? Now the business model then cannot be ownership based. Business model has to be service based. That you create entrepreneurs, where I see huge possibilities for people sitting here who will be running agro service centers and maybe doing work for 100 farmers or 500 farmers and thereby being viable, rather than each farmer sitting on a tractor which loan he or she cannot pay. And you have examples after examples of this nature where one talks about this sustainability. Very quickly, last example I am giving is Bangladesh in our neighborhood. I hope you know one of the first licensees for cellular telephones was Grameen Bank, who created Grameen phones. And their model was not ownership based. Their model was, in villages there is a widow who is having 5-10 mobile phones depending on the population in that village. So nobody owns, or most people do not own mobile phones, but they have access. Anytime they want to make a call, they can pick up a phone from there and in privacy they can make a call. If a call comes from some place, London or US or any place or Gulf, a small child takes the phone, tells the person calling, in 5 minutes phone will reach your father or wife, call after 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So you have access, but you don't have the burden of prepaid charges. We are creating unsustainable system. I come from a village in Bihar. A retired school teachers, 2 unemployable children, graduates, in their early 30s, each one with 2 Nokia mobile phones, 300 rupees monthly bill. Anytime I go, every year I go to my village, I catch hold of one of these fellows. Who is interested in talking to you? Why are you wasting 300 rupees of your father's pension? The response is another 4 or 5 unemployed fellows in neighborhood villages. SMS exchange happens. Right. And so after father dies, then what happens? Why are you wishing this bad news for me? So all of us are dismissible. So we cannot follow the Western consumption. The last part of the philosophy we are talking about, see, marketing talks about customer satisfaction. My urge has been, why not talk about happiness? And happiness is not consumption linked, happiness is something else. I will not get into the details. So philosophically, I see that as a challenge. I hope you know in our neighborhood, Bhutan, they talk about, and the students should know, gross national happiness. Yes. That is one of the things for which Bhutan is known, and globally now people are talking about, rather than GDP, GNP, this gross national happiness. Very quickly, on academic front, I see problem of relevance. What is appropriate for our kind of a society? One needs to research that. We have several problems with regard to development, with regard to the so-called sustainability, with regard to customer happiness. Simply trying to publish in Western journals, to my mind, which is a trend in some of our leading institutions. You are meeting the academic standards of US, relevance is a problem. It should lead to insight rather than publication for the sake of publication. Many a times research, the purpose of research that I have understood is to understand, to describe, to predict, right? So if it doesn't lead to some insight, it has no meaning, just for the sake of meeting some requirements. And then it should make some impact, both on the scholarship and for the practice. I will not get into details. For practitioners, one of the major problems I see in our society is ambition. And for students, that's very important. I claim intuitively that most of us, irrespective of religion, are carrying the curse of Lord Hanuman. I hope you remember what was that curse. Mythologically, Hanuman was supposed to be extremely powerful as a child, but he was destructive. So some rishi is supposed to have cursed him, that from now on you forget about your potential till somebody reminds you of your potential or power for a good cause. Right? Most of the problem I see in youngsters or even now older people, we are not ambitious enough. President Kalam was one of the persons who tried to raise that level. So let's say that by 2020 we will be a developed country. Work backwards, how do we achieve that? That is ambition, right? So I am submitting one of the things for entrepreneurs or potential entrepreneurs is, I should be clear. See, when Microsoft started, Bill Gates, starting from his garage, his vision was, or his ambition was, I want to be IBM of operating systems. Now then you target IBM as your customer. But if you are targeting another a small scale company, you will end up with becoming another medium size enterprise. Dr. Venkat Swamy, that Arvind eye care that I talked about, 3 beds, later on 16 beds. And at that time he defined his, he called it mission at that time, now it is called vision. Eradicate needless blindness in the world. Sitting in Madurai. And he didn't talk about in Madurai, in Tamil Nadu, he talked about eradicate needless blindness in the world. So that is ambition. Markets get fragmented and they get consolidated. You will find in elections, tomorrow some interesting results will come. I am no cephalologist, right? But caste combinations, various things. If you have to learn genuine practice of marketing, for good or bad reasons, I am not getting into that. 2 persons in this country that I know and whom I observe to learn my or reinforce my learning of marketing are politicians and godmen. These are 2 of the best practitioners of marketing. Sometimes they misuse it, but one has to learn. But reality is fragmentation, consolidation goes on. That's the reality of life. One needs to face those challenges. Auto industry is in trouble. Your employment seems to be in trouble. But I keep telling these auto fellows, your model is problematic. Why don't you go for mass transportation rather than individual transportation, which is a requirement for this country. So, adaptation. I hope some of you will remember a name called Sam Pitroda. And I'm not glorifying him. He's pro-Congress, Rajiv Gandhi. I'm not getting into that. But to my generation, in early 80s, he brought a beautiful thing and marketed a beautiful thing. He brought respect for appropriate technology when he created CDOT in this country. CDOT was a day one recruiter from IITs and IIMs at that time when Pitroda was the chairman. And what was appropriate? Before Pitroda, my learning of appropriate technology in this country was obsolete Western technology, appropriate technology for countries like India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal. Pitroda brought a new definition. Appropriate technology is modern but relevant. There are lots of technologies being developed in the West which are not relevant to our context. This is what I call adaptation is a challenge. How do I make sure that I pick up the right kind of technology? One of my colleagues in marketing in IIM Bangalore was very fond. Don't confuse this with MTV channel. This is one of the fundamental challenges for any marketing company. MTV here stands for M for multitasking, T for time compressed, and V for value seeking. So if you look at what has happened to your generation and just generation prior to you, we call it MTV generation. In my time, if I was switching on Vivid Bharati and reading, my father will come and switch off the transistor. Either you read or listen to music. Do one thing at a time. Today, you put on some iPod in your ears. You are driving a vehicle. You should not do that. That is dangerous and illegal, right? But you study. You are also, seeing something else on the TV. So 3-4 tasks go simultaneously. Now the question of attention, retention, all that, you still managed to do something. I don't know how. Right? All of you, including for meeting parents, good friends, are time short. Right? Now marketers try to get your attention through various means. That's one of the challenges. And value seeking is, see, lots of people make a statement, Indian customers are looking for cheaper products. Indian customers are price sensitive. My learning is no. My learning is Indian customers are value seeking. Value sensitive, not price sensitive. The difference I would like you to appreciate is, even when you find somebody buying a Mercedes, they say, कुछ extra डाल दो. 1 crore का check sign कर रहा है, वो accessories ये free क्यों नहीं दे देते हो, right? And when you buy Maruti 800 or Alto, even then you say कुछ accessories free दो. So both places one is seeking, I should get as much for my money that I am paying. And lastly, I'm on my final slide. There are several things like I said. Companies are yet to get into creating that culture of customers, which is a challenge for most of the companies. Very quickly, let me give you a small example. There was a phenomenal CEO in Bangalore called Jerex Desai. Any technology company CEO who used to tell the youngsters, I was in marketing or sales 20 years back, I know what customers want. Publicly, their egos are very big, but privately, I will tell them aside and ask them, that unless you are Jerex Desai, please never make this statement. Why Jerex Desai? Jerex Desai headed Titan for 2 consecutive terms for about 10 years. He used to have a beautiful practice. Even as CEO of Titan, for 3 to 4 days in a month, he used to sell watches counter to counter. He had asked his HR that any senior salesperson going on leave, give me that leave vacancy. And he used to introduce himself like that Mahabharata, Aswathama Hatu Narova Kunjaro. I am Jerex Desai. Company is kind enough to give me leave vacancy. He will not introduce himself as CEO of the company. And then he will sell watches at the watch showrooms. He used to say, I can listen to the voice of the customer much better when I stand at the counter and ask people, nahi Titan nahi chahiye, दूसरा दिखाओ, ये इतना महंगा क्यों है, पहला जो लिया था वो काम नहीं कर रहा है. Because research reports come to me filtered by 5 layers of hierarchy. So this is where the culture of customers, we are yet to move into that direction, although lots of lip talk is happening. Resource responsiveness balance. You need to look at how do you optimally use your resources, right? One perennial problem companies have is nobody is so-called emperor, right? So you are resource constrained. This challenge will be much more tomorrow because competition is going to be global, not just local, which has already happened. So you can see that happening. This balancing has to happen. Earlier, when you used to make a call, we will connect to a receptionist. Now you have automated call. If you know the extension number, please dial. Otherwise, there is a threat, right? And then if you reach the extension number, then somebody says his voicemail is full. Now you don't know what to do. At least receptionist earlier used to take the message and pass on to somebody hopefully, right? So one needs to balance this technology with high touch. Like I was just discussing before coming here, there is going to be, I am talking from the medical expert's point of view, huge shortage of nurses. Now Western world is talking about robotics. Lots of our problems robots cannot solve. What was happening in the family today, family members do not want to perform those tasks. Now, if we don't create people for that kind of a thing, we are in trouble. And we are society of geriatrics. 8% of India is above 60% of 60 years of age. More will come in future years. And in India, because we are 123 crores, any percentage you multiply, we are 1 crore plus. And when you look at some of the European countries, we have association with some Swedish university. And I tell them, total population of Sweden today is less than Bangalore's population. So their problems are of a different kind, our problems are of a different kind. We need to, future challenge will be anticipate, lead, rather than being reactive and following. So all these customer feedback. Now right now, and some of you are SMSing, whole lot of this social media and those kinds of things. I'm not getting into details, but basic issue is one has to anticipate and lead. And one of the best learning if you had was some of these controversies which happened during this current election in the 4 states or 5 states. So you can see some of those relevance. David Packard of Hewlett-Packard fame made this statement. I am ending my talk with this. Marketing is far too important to be left to the marketing department. So basic challenge of companies or institutions is the whole institution has to live the marketing philosophy. It cannot be left to 1 or 2 people with the designations of marketing director or general manager marketing or somebody else. That's the basic presentation I am making. Thank you.